How's it going, everyone? Team UFO here to bring you an oldie but goodie, the Jellyfish UFO. This was captured in October of 2017 at a US joint airbase located in Al-Taqaddum, Iraq. Now, before we get into the official story of this object, there are two quick things to know. The first is that this was captured with an IR sensor, and the second is that they believe these are balloons, some deflated and some not. So, let's dive right in and take a look. Now, I know balloons can have pointed ends and such, but looking closer, if some of these balloons were that deflated, you would think gravity would do its thing and flop the edges down. Inverting the colors helps bring the edge out. Call me crazy, but I haven't seen any balloons in my lifetime that resemble that shape. I'll add a little color to make the edges pop even more. If these are balloons, then they had a real bad hair day. I honestly can't think of what this object looks like. Maybe you have an idea? Now, as the video plays, watch how this object effortlessly glides through the air. It seems to be maintaining its speed, altitude, and heading. Also, pay close attention to the edges. The object seems to shift in color as well. Again, this is IR, so the color black is cooler compared to white, which is hotter. The two soldiers in the background don't seem to be paying attention to this object. The one soldier is looking down at the ground while the other soldier looks like they are looking to the right. Which is interesting because some eyewitnesses claim they couldn't see this object with their naked eye. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it is odd that the only footage that we know of that was released is in infrared. Another interesting thing to note is the flag on the bottom of the screen. It seems to be fairly windy, so how is this cluster of balloons not reacting to it? I've never been in a spot where there was a small breeze and not have small gusts along with it. Now, I'm not saying that these balloons should be bouncing around all over the place, but at the minimum, they should be at least rotating a little bit or bumping into each other, just something, not like this thing's made of stone. Now's a good time to go over the official story. According to the AARO, or the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, is that this was nothing more than a cluster of balloons. The AARO claims they used IR sensor data, pixel examination, and full motion video analysis to reach that conclusion. The video was captured by one of the infrared sensors on an aerostat, which is essentially a mini blimp. They use these to help with surveillance or reconnaissance to help locate any potential threats. Well, if it was balloons, how did this footage make its way all the way to the AARO? That, my friends, is the $1 million question. Well, on a fun note, after watching this video countless times over and over and over again to edit it, I just realized what this thing reminds me of. I don't know if any of you guys have played Fallout, but doesn't this kind of remind you of Mr. Gutsy? Like if he had his legs down and was just flying? No? Alright, well, on a more serious note, this object may have grabbed the attention of this dog. I assume the dog barks and calls his two buddies over. I'm not sure if the pups are reacting to it because, as you can see, there are two more dogs that don't pay any attention to it. Now, as this stiff object is moving across, there are another pair of dogs that seem to have no idea that this thing is even there. Now, I'll be quiet for about a minute so you guys can actually see what this thing does. Earlier I mentioned how this object changes color. In simple terms, IR picks up the wavelengths in the infrared spectrum, which we obviously can't see. What makes me curious is how many times through this video it does shift between black and white. Doing some research, most IR cameras have different filters to pick up more or less light. It could be the camera shifting filters making it shift colors, but if it's not that, then does that mean this object is changing its own heat? It's weird to think about because this object is gliding through the air in the open desert during the day above all the buildings. If it was moving into a shadow, you'd also see the ground turn more of a black color as well. You can see the shadows of the buildings already, so I don't think shadows have much to do with this at all. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to IR, so if I'm wrong, enlighten me down in the comments. A quick note, if you enjoy UFO news, breakdowns, and anything else alien, hit that subscribe button. Once Team UFO reaches 500 subs, we will launch a Discord where you can come share your own stories, footage, talk conspiracies, or politely troll us, whichever you prefer. Why is it every time we have decent footage of something unknown, the government comes in to do their own investigations, say that it's nothing to worry about by giving some blank statement, and that's it? This object, for instance, they claim it's balloons and that they have some data about its direction and speed, but yet they don't release the actual evidence or data. What just popped up on the screen is the AARO's actual explanation directly from their website. If there was strong data for this object, don't you think they'd throw it in our face? They've been doing this for years and it seems to be getting worse. So let's get this straight. They expect us to believe that out of the 500 US military personnel there that day, and possibly other personnel that isn't listed as to being there, and who knows how many cameras, that you only got this on footage by one camera? Not a single service member saw this object? It's a damn military base and none of the security noticed this? I've spent some time digging around and can't find another video or even a single photo of this object except the one that you are watching. If the government ever wondered why people don't trust them like they used to 40, 50 years ago, the answer is pretty obvious, guys. Do you guys feel the same? Because I can't be the only one out here thinking this. It seriously makes me wonder. Well, back to the object. As you guys can see, the object hasn't interacted with anything, nor has it reacted to anything. This entire time it's gliding away from the base, seemingly unfazed by gust of wind and anything else. Another question to ask too, is if this was visible to the naked eye, why wasn't it shot down? Wouldn't it be a security issue having this thing fly over the base? Oh, that's right. We didn't care about shooting down spy balloons until the beginning of 2023 when we shot down 4 over the US. Jokes aside, the government story doesn't add up. No matter how you look at this, it doesn't make any sense. And sadly, most of the time, it never does. The last thing to consider is if this isn't anything man-made, then what is it? If it was alien tech of some kind, what purpose does it have going over a military base in Iraq? UFOs and military bases nearly always go hand in hand. For decades, UFOs have been seen in and around military bases. Most speculate that if ETs existed, that they would be interested in our tech. So is that what's going on with this object? Regardless of what side of the argument you're on, I'm certain we all can agree that this object and many others are just flat out strange. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If there's any other video suggestions or ideas that you guys want me to make, just let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. Until next time, keep looking up.